We're back at 6:44. 10 on your side is committed to bringing you the most in-depth coverage of the crisis in Syria. So committed, in fact, we're taking questions straight to the men who have a say in what the U.S. response is.
Congressman Randy Forbes joins us live from Chesapeake this morning. Sir, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Cheryl. It's great to be with you both.
First, I want to read a part of a statement that you put out late Monday afternoon. You say, quoting here, "I have no intention of voting to authorize American intervention in Syria. I remain strongly opposed to an action that I believe will in no way contribute to America's national security interests," end quote. Now, we're seeing some support line up behind the president, including Senator Tim Kaine and House Speaker John Boehner. Is there anything the White House could show you that would change your mind?
Well, certainly, Cheryl, we're going to be open to the White House. I had a call from the White House yesterday discussing it with them. I've talked to key members of the Armed Services Committee. But the main thing we're looking for is what is their strategic goals, what's their objectives, how they would get in and do them, and then have an exit strategy, and how that would play in the national security interest of the United States. And so far, they haven't been able to demonstrate that, I think, Cheryl, to the American people, and I think overwhelmingly to members of Congress.
Congressman, you've been in town and talking with constituents. What has been the reaction from the people here in Hampton Roads on whether or not the U.S. should respond to this and attack Syria?
Don, overwhelmingly, people have told us that they don't think that we should be involved in Syria. You know, we have an administration that loves to use the military, but they just haven't been very supportive of the military. We saw them cut out the Joint Forces Command. They've reduced spending at the Pentagon, $587 billion. They've then had sequestration. On top of that, they've cut out our F-22s. They wanted to get rid of our 7 of our cruisers. They want to reduce our number of carriers. We see planes that are sitting on the runways because they won't put fuel in them to train our pilots. And now we want to do a military intervention in Syria that nobody knows how long it will last or what the extent of it would be. And I think people are very, very concerned about that.
Congressman, our military reporter Art Kahn, who I know you spoke with yesterday, interviewed Congressman Bobby Scott earlier this week. I want to play a little bit of that for you, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
We attack with bombs, and he attacks with a terrorist attack somewhere in the world or even in the United States. Then what do? Are we in a full-scale war? I don't know. There are a lot of things to consider.
Now, it's not every day that we see you and Congressman Scott coming down on the same side of an issue, especially when it comes to something that the White House wants. He has not put out an official statement on where he stands, but you hear his concerns. There's going to be a vote soon. How do you think it's all going to end?
Well, first of all, Congressman Scott and I agree on a lot of things related to Virginia and Hampton Roads, especially as it comes to the military. We work very, very closely together. Secondly, I think the point he raises is a very, very good one. What would the administration do, for example, if China used these same kind of weapons internally, or Russia, or even Iran? Are they going to go to war with them? And we need to determine that strategy. But Cheryl, I'll tell you, overwhelmingly, I've had people calling me from the Armed Services Committee and other members of Congress in the last several days, asking me what I thought and then telling me what they thought. Overwhelmingly, they have been against this intervention. So I'm going to be surprised to see where the pockets of support are going to be for this. But we certainly want to be open to the White House and open to any other information they want to present to us.
4th District Congressman Randy Forbes, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Don. Cheryl.
And we, of course, will continue to follow this story very closely and keep you up to date on air and online at WAVY.com.
Time now is